House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty and Security Title.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Gina as she is flying solo today. Half a day, Gina?
Half a day.
All right, one thing I have been wondering to have a conversation with you is about financing for construction, because so many times people think, okay, I'm gonna buy property and I'm gonna build it myself, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Or they have a plan and they have a blueprint and they want to put it together. They hire a contractor, they hire the constructors, they hire the engineers, architects, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But what is actually the process? Because we've never touched this before. How do you actually secure the money to get the building done?
Yeah,
the building of the building.
Yeah, you know, it always boils down to the money. Show me the money, right? It boils down to that, because that's where you start everything off. What is your budget? And interestingly enough, because the market's rising up so quick, and there are more buyers out there than homes that are available in a reasonable price range, and everybody's definition of reasonable is different. It varies from customer to customer. So that question's come up from some of our customers. Hey, I don't own land, because this is applicable if you don't own land. And there's another process if you already own the land. But let's say you don't own the land.
Which is the first requirement. You have to own the land before you can build on it.
Yeah. So if you're getting a construction loan, which is the question, how do you put that together? If you're getting a construction loan and you don't own the land, what are you going to do? Well, it starts off with the money. Go to the bank and get pre-qualified and let them know, I want to build. And I actually want to use the money to build to go ahead and acquire the land. How do I do that? Now, I want to tell everybody, banks are not created equal. So you've got to shop around. That's the first thing. It's like real estate agents. We're all so different, right?
But they're there to help you. And they're going to put their best foot forward and try and give you a good deal.
They're there to help you, but their packages are not the same. So for instance, how does this work? The process, you got to get pre-qualified, because the amount of money you can borrow is based on you alone. Okay, it's based on your income, based on your debts. So you take that into the bank, and I would say go check with at least 3 different lenders. Their packages are not the same. How they're going to apply the funds is not the same. So you need to kind of know that in advance. So you go in, you get pre-qualified, they look at your income, they look at your debt, and they said, okay, Jason, we're going to give you $200,000, for instance, or $300,000, or 4.
Let's just say a cool $500,000. Right?
Okay, let's say $500,000. And what I tell my customers then is, listen, it's about the amount of money that you can borrow, but it's also the amount of money you're willing to live with every month and spend as your mortgage payment. So look at that too. It can't just be, I'm getting this much and the payment's this much, but can you live with that amount and still be comfortable? So look at that. And
have a decent living, not like, okay, for the next 30 years, I'm going to be paying off my mortgage and eating ramen every day like I was in college all over again. Yeah.
Think about that, okay? What's your monthly going to look like? Put that together, and now you've got a budget. So you take that budget, and with construction loans, you have to work everything backwards. So that's where an expert, you got to be sitting with somebody who knows how to calculate things backwards. The bank's not going to do that for you. They're going to tell you, here's the budget. And so so now you take that budget and you say, I've got $500,000. How much house do I want to build, and what is the cost per square foot in the market? Because you got to work out your numbers backwards, right? Got $500,000. My cost per square foot, for instance, is $150 per square foot. I know I want to build 2,500 square feet of a home. So now you've got that number. How much do I have left, and what does that money have to go into? Well, it depends. Is the lot you're buying, is the water accessible? Can you tap into it? Are you going to need a septic tank, or do you need to connect to sewer? You got to deduct all that, the cost of all of those things. And so you really have to be able to sit down with somebody and do that. And before you can even, so that's the process, is you got to have the money. You have to have the money set aside. My budget's $500,000. The next thing is I have to have somebody design it, because the bank will not process your loan unless you already have the land in place and you've got a building plan, because the bank is going to base funding you based on what you're building there. So do you see how complicated this is?
They're not giving me a $500,000 just because I have a dream or my vision. It's got to be solidified.
Solid. That's right.
Solid.
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 There you go.
Solid.
The dream has to be on paper. You've got to get a contractor to bid on that dream. Hey, how much is it going to cost for me to build this house? And then the next question is the contractor is going to ask you, where's the land? So you can actually use that construction loan to buy the land, but the processing time, you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. Is the APR any different for construction loans as it might be for, say, like if I'm just buying a house for the very first time? And would I also qualify for any like first-time home buyer considerations if I'm getting everything like all in one shot? Or does it even apply?
It doesn't even apply because you're doing your first-time home buyer loans most of the time are 90 to 100% financing. And it's I have to say it is an easier process to buy a house that's already built. It is an easier process. But in this case, you really, the reason people come to me and say, okay, well, I want to get a construction loan. The reason they do that is in their mind, they're truly getting their dream home. Because now they've picked the lot, so they've gone out there and picked, okay, I want to be in this location. And now they've sat with somebody and they've put their dream into writing. That house that they absolutely had in their head is now documented on paper. They've done the plans for it with an architect or the engineer or the contractor. For some people have the contractor put that together for them, or the contractor already had something that they liked. They saw it somewhere else and they loved it. Okay, I'll build that. Now you take those plans and you go back to the bank and you say, you qualified me for this amount and here's my house plan. So the bank will do the appraisal based on that plan. And here's where the banks are different. Some banks will give you 80% of the cost. Some banks give you 80% of the value.
Okay.
And so it's really depending on who you go to is going to affect how much it's out of your pocket is going to be.
And once again, we have proven that this is a very complicated process, and it is a process. Best thing they can do is come to see you and ask for more information, as always.
Call your favorite realtor, call me. But you need to get the information. It's not easy, but when you're done, you truly have built your dream home.
All right. Well, can I just say you're my favorite realtor?
Absolutely.
And I said the same thing for Liz when she was here and you
when
weren't
she's here.
Yeah. You're both my favorite. All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye-bye.
And we will see you after this break.